Texas Business Bites. Texas business. Texas style.
Howdy, folks. Here he is, the Texas Brit, the guy with the stiff upper lip, filling his 10-gallon hat and his cowboy boots, Carl Wolfenden.
Thank you very much indeed. I appreciate that. And of course, we're coming live from the Colin SBDC's social media carnival. It's great. We've got various speakers in three of the big top tent here at the Wade Conference Center. It's fantastic here on Wade Boulevard. And so during the day, we're going to have lots of guests talking about social media. We've had Chad Williams on the show, and later on in the show we'll have Merge Forward as well. So join us as we come back after the break, and we'll have some great guests on.
Biz TV is the home for your business. Whether you're an entrepreneur, small business owner, or just managing your family's assets, Biz TV can help. Find the resources you need to manage your money, start your latest venture, or grow your business. Biz TV, it's your biz. You can find Biz TV on channel 55.6 over the air or online at biztv.com. Biz TV, it's your biz.
Tell me more about Merge Forward. You're, of course, the CEO and founder.
Yes.
Single mom.
Yes.
You know, and you've been doing a heck of a job getting this company to where it is today. So tell us more about what is Merge Forward.
Okay, absolutely. We're a marketing digital agency here in Dallas, Texas, and we focus on creative, which is web design, email marketing, logo, branding, collateral, and we also focus on social media, anywhere from strategy to content creation, videos, writing, creating the banner ads, and a little bit of SEO.
I'm exhausted just listening to that. My goodness, you do everything. So why is branding? We talk a lot about social media and just getting messages out there, but having a brand and even if it's a personal brand or a company brand is so important. So what in your mind, what is the importance of branding?
I think it's really important to any kind of business. And I think it's really good to step back and really think about what your tone is, what your voice, what your message is. You know, these days there's so much information out there through websites, social media, radio, TV. We're bombarded with messages all the time.
I've heard that what is it, 45,000 messages a day that if you counted them with billboards and everything that you hear on the Oh,
absolutely. And it's like, as a business, how do you stand out? And so you really have to have an authentic message, a really good story. And branding is you're telling really your story visually, you're evoking emotions about your business. You know, one of those emotions just probably needs to be trust. A good way to do that through your branding is to do testimonials, to tell your story visually, and to really spend some money on some branding.
It's interesting you just framed it out that way, because I think, you know, when I think of branding, I think of a logo.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my brand.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna stick there's a nice looking logo. Look, there's my logo. Yeah. But it's really what's behind the logo.
Yeah.
It's everything that you sort of build around it, like as you say, the emotion. I'm from radio, so we used to talk about tone of voice a lot. You know, what is that voice that you want on your commercial? You know, is it a young voice, is it an old voice, experienced, excited, all that, so you've got to really think about what is that right environment that you're going to put yourself into. And then I heard you say it's not just about your internal brand, but it's your external brand, where you got your brand advocates as well that are going out and talking about it. Is that right?
Absolutely. And I think at the end, it's really the story you want to tell, because that'll keep you different from everybody else. It'll help you stand out. You want to be authentic. You want to be transparent. And look, as a creative person, my background is graphic design. I'm going to tell you you do have to have a polished logo. You do have to have, a nice website. That's your credibility.
Yep.
And you do have to have, content on your social media channels. Even if you're doing B2B, then you can use LinkedIn or something else like that. But you do have to be out there. You have to be in front of your audience. And, each audience is different. Everybody looks for data differently. Some people are more drawn to text, so they'll be on Twitter. Other people like me are more visual. They'll be on Instagram. So don't assume that your target market is just on one channel. But I think to be relevant, you do have to have a polished brand, and everything needs to be aligned, as in your fonts need to be the same, whether it's on your social media to your website. Everything has to look similar and aligned. Now, I do think that we're at a time now that the big brands and the small brands can look the same because we all have the same platforms, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we can all have a website these days. We don't have to have a brick and mortars
That's true.
type of place.
That's absolutely true, and I think the local part of this, because I can't remember the exact percentages, but small businesses make up a large percentage of the revenue that's created and wealth in America.
Absolutely.
And so as a small business, and small business can be classed as various ways, and I think there's ways of 100 people or less or whatever, but they're looking for connecting with potential customers within a certain geographic sort of reach. I mean, you talk about the big box stores, etc., but you could be a mom and pop store that can supply your local community. But you still got to have, as you say, a nice look and feel, so that once you hook the person in and say, I want to know more about this, because you've heard the story, you've got to give them confidence that you can deliver.
Absolutely. And just to continue on that conversation is, I think we have to remember that your website will be your credibility. If your website is outdated and 10 years old, I'm going to look at your business and say, okay, if they can't even update their website, how are they going to provide their services? Are they outdated in their services and their products?
Yeah.
And so that trust is going to be gone. Two, you want to make sure that your website is responsive, that it's mobile-friendly design. That's so important. I think I read a statistic that 94% of small businesses do not have a responsive website.
Yeah.
It's really important.
It is, because
we're so busy.
we're
all running around.
Yeah.
And, I'm a single mom. I'm running a business, and I make a lot of my purchases on my phone, waiting for just in between, because I can.
Yep, absolutely. And if you can't, then you won't, and you've lost out. The business has lost out.
Yeah.
Even though you may have a great reputation as a business, if somebody goes to your website on their phone and they can't find a way of purchasing directly from you, or finding a contact name or number, then you've lost that person, because they're on to something else. I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely. You want to keep that contact information above the fold. And you
talk about what everyone, I keep hearing this throughout the day, above the fold. So what does that mean?
That means when I go to your website, it pops up right on my desktop. I don't have to scroll down to find it.
So it's right in front of me.
Yeah, and I want your logo there, and then I want to know, like a tagline, whatever you do. Tell me what exactly you do about your business.
Yeah.
Right there, so I don't have to scroll down and go looking for it. I don't want to have to look for the contact information all the way at the bottom.
That's true. And also social media icons as well. How do I connect to you on the social media? I would think.
And some businesses, that's really good for them. Some of them that are B2B, it's not as important.
Right.
But to still be on social media, that's a really good platform to be transparent about your business, to tell a story, to, highlight your business, your employees, maybe any, activities that you do, charities outside of your business.
Yeah.
People want to see the story, because we hear the same thing over and over. Buy my stuff, I'll sell it to you.
Yeah.
We hear that all day long. But show me how you make the stuff. Tell me what's so special about it, and what do you do to support the community?
Yeah. I love that, mainly because and I wrote a blog a couple of weeks ago, and it was all about the purchase decision. The purchase decision, not the buying cycle. It was the purchasing cycle. You've got to educate somebody, because if they don't know who you are or where you are, then nobody will find you.
Yeah.
And then when they find you, you've got to actually prove to them that you've actually done this for somebody else and succeeded and delivered a result, then you've got to actually get their trust that you're going to actually deliver for them. And then it's that telling that story. And because guess what? Somebody doesn't just turn up and say, oh, I'm going to buy straight from you.
Yeah.
They see you over a period of time, and Knox, who's your business partner, he and I were talking about the fact that, you know, it's not instant gratification anymore. I mean, everybody thinks that social media, you're going to press button A and it's going to happen. It's not about that. I don't think. I mean,
no, it's still about building the relationship
It is.
and building the trust. And you know what? One of the best ways to close that process that you're talking about is testimonials, recommendations.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, it still comes down to human to human. So when you do a job for somebody and they're like, thank you so much, go, hey, do you mind just recommending me? Do you mind writing a review? If you like this, is there anything else that we could do better?
Yep.
You know, and then you'd be
Just ask
surprised
them.
how many people, just ask. You
Yeah.
gotta ask.
Yeah.
I have so many people just dance around that, but they don't do it.
Right.
I don't know why. Maybe they think, like, even when I was speaking this morning, somebody said, I need to build out my Facebook page, and, you know, I feel bad asking my friends. Why?
Right.
You're in small business, you're selling.
Yep.
You need to be asking and asking and asking again.
Yep.
And if they don't want to, they'll say no and they'll move on, you know?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I think a lot of people forget is recommendations.
Absolutely.
And if you can get 3 recommendations from that one happy customer, but now you've got social media, that 3 recommendations exponentially explodes to 3,000 potentially, because each person within their own social sphere has got about 250 people. That's what I think is the statistic. And so if you can reach out to 10 of those, you've got 2,500 people that you've just reached out to. And if that one person is talking about your great experience, I'd rather believe you than the product.
Absolutely. And you can take those 3 recommendations that you have and you can put those on your LinkedIn, on your personal, and then on your business. Then you can take it and you can put it on your website. Then you can create posts that with the quotes and saying, hey, this person recommended us. And now you have posts to go on your Instagram, on your Twitter, and on your Facebook, and you can continue with that information.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, we could have this conversation forever now. We were nervous before, but now it's just a conversation. So we've covered all the different components of a brand, a great brand. We've talked about the value in personal branding, and we've now talked about the.
Yep.
So I'm now excited, and I'm sure the people out there are excited as well. So how do we find you?
You can go to our website, mergeforward.com.
Which is responsive.
Yes, absolutely. It is.
Yeah.
So it's mergeforward.com, and you can see our portfolio up there. So we do all kinds of marketing.
Yep.
We're located in Dallas, but we have clients all over the place. We work with AT&T. We work with Benny Keith.
Fantastic.
We've worked with a Ferrari dealership here locally.
Do you get to test drive
yes,
them?
I do. I'm a big car girl, so I do.
Wow. I'm jealous.
It's fun. And then we've worked with nonprofits. We have worked with, startups of all sorts.
Fantastic.
And I just want, everybody out there who is a business owner just to remember that, it's originally when I started my business, I thought it was a sprint.
Yep.
And I just got exhausted. I exhausted myself.
Yep.
I was a grumpy person, and I realized it's more of a marathon. There's ups and downs to it, but we all do it for a reason. Persistence is really important.
Yep.
Being authentic and enthusiastic is really important. You don't have to know everything, because these days you can Google anything, you can find the right resources.
Yep.
But it's just your enthusiasm and your passion is really important, and to stay focused. And I'll tell you, if anybody out there is a single parent, I started my business partially because I miss being an entrepreneur. Corporate was just not for me. I didn't want to be boxed in. But also, I was a single mom, and I was picking up my kids from daycare at 6:30 at night. This is not the life that I wanted to build for my kids. And my kids were so young. And now we have a quality of life. I work just as hard, if not harder. Please know I work on the weekends and all that.
Oh, we all do. That's right. Yeah,
but
you're right.
I love it,
right.
and it's
yeah.
for me. If I'm going to work hard, I'm going to work hard for myself. That's the choice I made.
Because you can see what the benefits are. Absolutely.
And absolutely. There's days where I'm like, what did I do? Am I crazy? I'm tired. But then the other days are just amazing and fantastic and very rewarding. and it's worth it.
Oh, it definitely is. I mean, I'm blessed that I've got a business where I've got some great business partners, but it's that passion of what I do. I mean, I want to tell stories, and I want to, we have the networks that we work with. We tell stories on those networks. We work with social media, and so you're right. It's what I chose, and I've been doing it now for 30 odd years, and I'm not going to stop soon. So I think you're absolutely right, and I think everybody out there that wants to embrace, the entrepreneurial life, or even just the business life. Social media and branding is important to help you not go crazy and get stressed and all that good stuff. So
yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you for joining us, and I'm sure I'll have you back on the show.
I hope so.
We do different Skype calls, and we do different events all over the place, so especially across the Metroplex. So lovely speaking with you, and you've got a great company.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
A lot of things happening today. Oh my goodness, it's been a fun day. We've literally been having interviews with several of the speakers here at the Social Media Carnival, and also some of the actual guests. And one of the guests is here, Erin Smith, has joined me. Hello, Erin. How are you?
Hi, good. Thank you for having me.
Hey, thank you for stopping by. My goodness, I heard all about what you're doing with the Starters Club. I want you to explain a little bit more about that in a little while. And also, in a few weeks' time, you've got the Entrepreneurs Summit. That's at the end of March. So, and there's a special guest, and let's keep that secret for now.
We can
and then
keep that secret.
And then, but no, not all the time. But you can tell me in a minute.
Okay.
Because I want to build.
It's a big one. It's a very big secret.
I want to build the tension up, which is good. So, Erin, first of all, how are you enjoying the summit? I mean, are you getting good information?
Yes, I am. Unfortunately, I had to come in the second half, but so far this has been great. And of course, I know Knox and Kasha from Merge. And
we just had Kasha on and Knox earlier on in the day.
Yes, so they always have great content, and I've heard. Those are the ones I got to watch at the very end today, but I've heard amazing things throughout the entire day. I wish I could have come in the morning, too.
So tell me about the Starters Club and how long that's been going, and what the mission is of that.
So I am an accidental entrepreneur. I've been an
accidental. I've never heard that.
Entrepreneur. Okay. I loved corporate America, but due to some early layoffs that I luckily only had to witness, I never had to experience, I said, I got to take care of myself. So I started in real estate investing. I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and slowly grew up businesses and sold them. And about 4 years ago now, I had 2 babies in 2 years. And I was on my second business. I was dealing with employees, running around town, and I said, I need something a little more simple. I want to be home more with my kids, and I'm married to my job right now, my business.
Yep.
And so I sold that and started the Starters Club, where I really wanted to help people go from idea to get started, because a lot of people are just terrified of the idea of being a business owner. And as I started that, I did a podcast, I have videos. I really discovered the sweet spot where those people who had the start down, but they couldn't generate money because they were flying by the seat of their pants. They didn't understand how to connect with their customers and build customers. So it really
they get stuck, don't they, in a rut?
They get very stuck.
Well, they've got the revenue that's to get started, as you say,
right.
And they get excited about that.
Yes.
But then they're busy maintaining that business, and they never know how to move it forward. So,
exactly. Yeah, and they don't know how to sell themselves. They don't know how to generate leads, and they don't know how to streamline and process. Like, there's just so many little steps. So we do consulting, we do online courses, and we actually do done for you services where we'll help you with the social strategy, whether it's aligning content with social media, a lot of paid. I mean, paid social media is so exciting to me because 12 years ago when I started my business, my marketing goal was the phone book. And it's a true story. Literally, I was like, I'm going to get in the phone book, LLC'd my business, and the next day the phone book showed up at my door, and I was like, oh, well, I have a whole year until I get in there next year. What am I going to do? And so that's when I learned SEO. I learned Google AdWords, and that was the start of online lead generation. And now it's like you can calculate it to a T, where you can say, if I spend $500, I will make $3,000 back in my business.
That's
and
amazing
never been
that
able
you
to
can
do
do
that.
that. Because I mean, I think we've all seen it. The organic search is there. I mean, there's no.
It works.
There.
Yeah.
It does work, but it's slower. It's a lot slower. So if you use a good strategy on paid for, you can actually, accelerate that hockey stick. I wouldn't say hockey stick, but the increase in awareness and also sales, depending on what the call to action is.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think every business needs to be in a predictable state. You shouldn't be reacting. You shouldn't be crossing your fingers and hoping. It should be a predictable thing. You've got your business aligned where you know your busy times, you know when you need to hire, you know how to make sales happen versus praying to God it's going to come your way. So that's what is great about social, is you can really create that predictability.
So in terms of the Starters Club, is that like a weekly, monthly event, or how do you get involved with the Starters Club?
Actually we're just about to launch a monthly membership site where we really focus on business fundamentals. So it's small pieces in your business to help get there. But you can hire us for services at any point or consulting at any point. And then if you go to our site, thestartersclub.com, you'll see the different courses that we have available that you can sign up for and just take as I want to empower people.
They're online courses.
Yes.
Oh, they're online courses.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
I didn't realize that.
Yep.
So they're online courses that you go on and you subscribe to, and then
you get the information
in the different categories that you're looking.
Yes.
You just talked about.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So are they video?
Video based, and
video-based?
there's worksheets video based to them, and we're slowly building more. I'm actually doing one on live events.
Okay. There you go.
Yes, very excited about, because I've never dreamed what live events would do for my business ever. But a lot of people are overwhelmed with just how do you put together a live event. I was there too, and there was nobody to teach me how to do it. I had to hire people, so I'm like, I got to teach others how to do that. So,
right.
Yeah.
So that's a great segue into what's happening in a few weeks' time.
Yeah.
So it's the Entrepreneurs Summit. So tell me more.
Yeah. The idea stemmed several years ago in Dallas when Entrepreneur Magazine did an event, and I had been an entrepreneur then for a while, but it really was. It changed the direction of my business just from the information I learned, and it was just so awesome to be surrounded by other entrepreneurs really going through the same thing I was. And so it went in the back of my mind, but I did not deem myself large event worthy. I was like, hey, what if I put on a party and nobody shows up type of thing, and I don't know what I'm doing. But it was, living in Dallas, you see a lot of the same people all the time, and you go to events and it's a lot of, all the same. And I said, where's the middle ground? Where's the people that it's not so much about a money thing for them to attend, it's a time. Like, they need to make sure if they're going to take a day out of their life, it's valuable and they get worth it. And they want to meet a whole room of people who are in that exact same spot. So we did it last year. For the first time, I brought in speakers. Ann Hanley from Marketing Profs was there.
Yeah.
Joel Comm actually ended up not making it in. He got stuck, but we had him on live stream. And then we just had a whole day of business growth. It was really focused on for those entrepreneurs who have started, who are building, but they need that next level.
Right.
So it worked out really well. I did it in 3 months. We had just under 200 people there. It was 3 months of no sleep.
That's
no
fantastic.
sleep.
And where was it? Where?
Frisco Convention Center here in Frisco, Texas. So, and I was so proud of the fact that business partnerships were made. People just had notes, like pages of notes that they were going to implement in their business, and that was really important to me.
Yeah, that's very good.
So this year, can I say the secret?
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Yes.
So this year we're really excited. Robert Herjavec of Shark Tank.
Oh, fantastic! That is
going to
great.
be our keynoter, which.
Oh my goodness, I want to be there.
Yeah. No, and luckily the stars all aligned, because I was having coffee with a good friend of mine, Raj Daniels. He owns Open Time, and he was like, "Well, Erin, what are you going to do if he's not available? Like, who's your number two?" And I'm like, I don't have a number 2.
And we don't want a number 2.
Exactly. This has to work out. So
Yeah.
luckily everything worked out that Robert could make it in. He's opening. I'll give you an exclusive. We haven't announced this yet. It'll be going up in the next few days. But the founder of Match.com will be speaking.
Wow.
Yes.
Fantastic.
We've got IBM talking IoT. We've got Amy
Oh, and is
Blankson.
Watson going to be there?
I don't know if Watson's going to be there. We're still working out the details of that. But Amy Blankson, her and her brother run Good Think, which he's been on Oprah a couple times, the happiness guy.
Yep.
So she's got a book coming out. We've got a VIP happy hour where you'll get an advanced copy of her book and get to mingle with some people. So it's just going to be a real high-end event. Like
So what are the dates? What are the dates?
March 30th is the day where it'll be a whole day of speakers.
Yep.
March 29th is where our VIP happy hour is. We have intensives where Kasha and actually Knox will be teaching one where it's 4 hours, but really intense topic where you're going to get the one-on-one help. Like they're going to do audits for you. They're going to help you with your social, and then you'll get to experience the audits with other people so you can get more ideas of what to do. But you'll walk out of there not just with this will be fun to do. Like you're going to know exactly what to do. So we've got one on sales, high performance, product launching, and then digital branding. We're going to do those 4. And it's just going to be, like I said, real in-depth help on specific topics. So if you're looking for ways to grow, ideas to grow, or meet just a room of extraordinary entrepreneurs, I'm telling you, this is going to be a great event.
Fantastic. I tell you, well, I need to know where we're going to find details of that, and
Yes.
how can we register and get tickets and things like that.
Absolutely. So where it will be at the Frisco Convention Center again this year,
Yep.
but if you go to entrepreneursummitdallas.com, you can get all the information. You're going to see the lineup. You're going to purchase tickets. Feel free to use the code GUEST, GUEST, for 20% off. That'll get you off everything. And like I said, it's really going to be an incredible day.
Fantastic. Well, I'll also put the information up on our Facebook page and on our Linked AM page. I really appreciate you stopping by,
thank you
Erin.
for giving me the opportunity to talk about it.
It's it's always great to listen to stories of how people have grown, and now you're helping other people grow.
Yes.
And you're giving back. So
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. And I know the sessions have restarted. I know
Yeah.
you just stepped out to join me. So thank you.
Grab a cup of coffee. Stay a while.
Texas Business Bites. Texas business. Texas style.
Howdy, folks. Here he is, the Texas Brit, the guy with the stiff upper lip, filling his 10-gallon hat and his cowboy boots, Carl Wolfenden.
Howdy there, yes, welcome back, and he's still here at the SBDC Collin County sort of conference center here. We've got the social media carnival that's happening all of this day. We started at 8 o'clock this morning. Had some great speakers on the actual stage. We've got 3 stages and 3 rooms where we're talking about different things, and we've had over the past sort of couple of hours, you've seen a couple of interviews that we've had from people just popping by and sitting down and having a chat with me, which is really good. Today we've got now we've got the partner and social media consultant for Merge Forward, and he's called Knox Keith. Well, hello, Knox. How are you doing?
Hi, Carl. How are you?
I'm excellent, thank you. So tell us a little bit more about Merge Forward. So and what you're all about.
Sure. We are a Dallas-based digital marketing agency that brings together content creation, branding, storytelling, activations, websites, email campaigns, and all the fun stuff that goes behind SEO to help brands reach their audiences and communicate with clients.
So a lot of people ask me, it takes a lot of time to get your head around what should I be doing around social media.
Right.
And a lot of small, medium-sized businesses are like, where do I focus my time? I'm busy running my business, and so what are the 3 things to focus on when looking at your marketing strategy?
Right, that's a great question. So, yes, as a small business owner ourselves, you are constantly consumed and worried about selling, right, and servicing your clients. So we like to look at things three ways, right? As a small business, you're trying to get your name out there and build awareness. That credibility generally starts with your website because people will go there first. It's one of the first places you'll go. And based off that, you need some basic design elements. You need your website to also be mobile friendly. 94% of us now expect a mobile site to be as prolific or capable as a regular desktop site, but your smartphones are now your number one device. So that's the first place to start. The second place people will find you is on search. So they will go into Google or other search engines and search for you. That's often tied to website performance, the content you're creating, and other pieces. And now with the proliferation of social media, people will also look for what your presence is, especially depending on age group by certain platforms. So, does your business have a presence on Facebook? It may not have a huge following, but are you there? Are you sharing things? Are you engaged?
So is that right then about the demographic? I had some figures in my head. We were talking about this earlier, that there's 7.3 billion people in the world, 3.6 billion are actually on social network,
Right.
But it's changed, hasn't it? Like for my example, I've got a 13-year-old daughter, and she loves Snapchat and Instagram. But I've got my mum and dad who are 80 plus. God bless you. They're on Facebook.
Right.
And so it seems that Facebook's got a little bit older, and we're on Facebook Live, so I've got to, hopefully I've got a lot of younger audience as well. But there seems to be a shift or a preference.
Right.
And I think it's a preference is the word of what media platform that you want to be on. Is that right?
That is correct. So if you think about it, right, the reason, and I've got two teenage kids as well, the reason your kids don't want to be on Facebook is because their dad's on Facebook.
Okay,
Right?
there you go.
And we're moving to a more visual society, so that age group or demographic, the teenagers and millennials, are definitely more visual based. So that would be the Instagrams, it would be the quick video conversations with platforms like Snapchat that do that. And a small business, Snapchat is not necessarily the one you may want to go after unless that's part of your target audience.
I've got some stats here now. I'm going to go wide angle. There you go, so they see me looking at this because I'm not an expert at this. It says here that Facebook now sees 8 billion average daily video views from 500 million users.
Yeah.
So video is a big part of that visual experience.
Correct.
And then it says Snapchat users watch 6 billion videos every day.
Right.
6 billion
Yeah.
videos, that's a lot of hours.
It's a lot of hours. So, here's an interesting stat for you, and you may have heard it before, maybe not. Google's the number one search engine in the world.
Yep.
What's the number two search engine?
YouTube.
It is YouTube. Most people will think Bing or Yahoo or maybe a search engine out of China.
But I suppose that,
We're a little biased. We should know that, right? But because people are consuming huge amounts of video content, it's natural that a place like YouTube would be that, or Snapchat, or Facebook.
Yeah, and then another one here is the US adults spend an average of 1 hour, 16 minutes every day watching video on a digital device.
Right.
So these things here, these iPads, tablets, smartphones, is the place where your customers, if you're a small business, you've got to understand that this is where your customer is going to be hanging out.
Right, and if you think about it, this screen's a lot smaller than my computer screen. So when we say, hey, you've got to make your website responsive,
Yep.
it just means no mobile friendly.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, explain what the responsive
means.
means.
Responsive means, and most websites, especially for small businesses, are built with tools like WordPress. And they give you templates that have both a desktop or laptop version as well as a mobile-friendly version. And that's important because it drives me crazy. Like, for example, this Christmas I bought something for my son from Cabela's, and I needed to call customer service. And I'm busy running between meetings and clients, and I'm looking at their site on my mobile device, and I can't find a 1-800 number.
Yep.
And it's
Don't get me started on customer service. Anyway, no. Sorry.
exactly. But one of the things that makes it important is this is what we're going to first, is our mobile devices.
Yep.
So simplify your information, make your contact information easily found, and you lose or you mitigate the risk of people bouncing or leaving your site.
And also put your social media links on your site. I mean,
Right.
sometimes it amazes me how many people don't do that. They don't say, connect with me, And by the way, if you like us and you're watching us, like us and like Merge Forward.
Yes, thank you for the plug. But that's an important thing too, right? So, if you think about one of the ways things are displayed on your desktop is there's content that's above the fold and content below the fold, meaning you have to screen up to get to things. So you want the relevant information for what you do on above the fold, and that includes your social links, your contact information, and even a tagline that just says, "Hey, here's who we are, and this is what we stand for."
So, what are what the most businesses don't think of when it comes to market? What are the things they don't think about?
I think in this day and age with marketing, especially when you're small with limited budgets, is you're just throwing stuff out on the wall to see what sticks. Oh, I did a post on Facebook, pat myself on the back. The problem with some of that is that these sites make money from ads. So your audience is called organic reach without boosting it or paying for content placement. Something like 3%, only 3% sees your information. So when you start to think about the things you want to like or share on social media, you want to think about things that relate to your sales funnel, because that's what you're worried about, servicing clients and where's your next sale coming from. And really a simplified sales funnel is at the top of the funnel, it's awareness. Hey, this is Joe's Plumbing Company in Dallas or in this zip code, and we've got 24-hour customer service. That's what I want to be known for. That's at the top of the funnel. The middle of the funnel is consideration. Why do I trust this client? What do I know about them? Can I relate to them? Is there a story there? And then the bottom of the funnel is purchase intent. So what's going to tip someone over to purchasing? And usually that's word of mouth. So it's reviews, it's videos, it's a customer story. Hey, Joe's Plumbing saved us. It was Christmas. The pipe froze. They came out within 3 hours, and they're our heroes.
I think one of the things that I'm hearing what you just said there is that a lot of people throw things at a wall and then they give up.
Right.
And I think we're in this world of instant gratification, and I've done a couple of segments from the studio back at the studio, which talks about that you've got to be patient. We live in this world of, I want somebody to like this now. I'm going to send a text, and if you don't reply instantly, I'm going to get upset because you don't like me anymore.
Right.
Because you haven't. But the fact that you might be in a meeting or whatever, but you get stressed out and you're going, I want somebody to answer me.
Right.
And that doesn't happen. I mean, social media isn't instant. I mean, it's more instant than putting a stamp on an envelope and sending it through the mail. But people give up.
Right.
And I'm going to smile, and I talk about this a lot of times. But last Wednesday I did a segment, and I was dressed in my New England Patriots outfit. And the segment was called Play to the Final Whistle.
Right.
And it was all about never give up. Don't just give up, and then you start all this effort, and then you go, okay, well, it's not working for me. I'm going to go over here and do something else. And I think that that's important in social media. So explain a little bit more about how maybe you've got to put a plan together rather than just, as you say, throw it up at the wall.
Right. So you're absolutely right, Carl. One of the things that we don't often think about is what is our strategy and plan. And if you take a step back as a small business owner and all the pressures you have already, it can be overwhelming. So any plan should start with what we like to call a crawl, a walk, a run. What are some of the basic things I can be doing up front? I need a website. I need to be on social media. I need those foundations put in place. Then, as I get more advanced, okay, what am I sharing? What do I want to be known for, right? What's, in some cases, depending on your brand, what's your tone of voice? Are you edgy or are you more conservative? Or, That helps relate to your audiences. And then what are some of the things in the advanced setting you can do? Is the video, the search engine optimization, the paid ads, the other things to do that. But starting out, it's hey, here's what I stand for. With our example, I'm a plumber. I service these zip codes. Here are my hours. Here's my contact information. Here are my reviews. Don't take my word for it. Social media can be your biggest advocate if you're playing to it right. And it's just word of mouth on steroids.
Yep.
You know, you have a ton of people saying something good about a product or service you provided, that does wonders.
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, you can't get away from the fact that if somebody likes your product and they go and tell their friend, then we work with a lot of bands,
right.
and promote a lot of festivals, etc. And we use a word of mouth platform to go and incentivize our people to go out and do tasks on our behalf. And the way that works is if that person goes and does something, their inner circle. I mean, we did a study, and it was like the average person has got about 230 social nation, you know. And so if you can tap into that one person and then they talk about you, then all of a sudden you've got 200 people. Now you magnify that across a universe across your Facebook, and so word of mouth is huge. So give me an example of how a business has actually used social media to affect the bottom line. I mean, at the end of the day, we all want to make money. We want to make money, and we want to turn all of this energy that we put into social media into cash. Right. So give us an example.
I'm going to pull an example out that you may not have thought of before, but Dell, there's a great case study with Dell computers. And if you remember the Dell story, Dell was the first direct-to-consumer, customized computer manufacturer out there. And they built a wonderful domain and platform to service their customers. But what wound up happening is, at some point they had outsourced their call center, and it wasn't quite as responsive, and things weren't quite aligned as they should have been. And long story short, they got into a situation where a blogger 9 years ago, had some trouble with the computer he received. And he kept calling the 800 numbers and getting hung up on pretty quickly because the call center was being rewarded off call length, not call resolution. So a little misalignment there. To make a long story short, he turned out he was a blogger, and he started blogging about his daily escapades of not getting something fixed. And then the mainstream media picked up on it, and all of a sudden, Dell is getting bashed in the media. Yep. Handsomely, and so much so that Michael Dell's like, what the heck is going on? We're not servicing our clients. So you fast forward a few years, and they started, this was back before a lot of the listing tools were out there. They had analysts go and combing, call center analysts combing different boards and different searches to find customers in distress. Fast forward to today, and they have 113 customer care representatives focused on social media alone. Now it's integrated with their call centers and their CRM systems and all this other stuff, but on a weekly basis, they're closing 4,000 customer service tickets alone on Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter.
On Twitter alone. So that's 140 characters at a time. It's what I call asynchronous communication. So you're not stuck on the phone, waiting and pushing numbers. You're like, hey, I'm in distress, help. And someone picks it up. Hey, I saw you're in distress, how can I help you? But without social media, there's hundreds of thousands of case studies where they wouldn't be able to reach their audiences.
And they'd lose the business. They'd walk away.
Right.
And by doing that, I mean, I do have a personal story about that where I'm not going to say any numbers or any names in my family that did this, but I didn't realize. Let me just go wide shot because I want because they didn't see my. There you go. I love this camera, by the way. We're having too much fun. We're having too much fun. But there was. I didn't realize that these little games on these iPhones had in-app purchases. This was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be fun to give an old iPhone to at the time I think he was 7. to go and play a wonderful game, which was all about building, and it's quite apt actually. It was building a carnival at a fair. So we're at the social media carnival, but he could go and he used to come in and show, look, Dad, I just built a Ferris wheel. I went, okay, that's great. Go away. Yeah, go and play. Oh, look, I've just built this great big roller coaster.
Right.
And I'm like, and then all of a sudden my phone started dinging. $50, $40. And what he was doing, he was buying buckets on truckloads of coins, which was costing me like $60 a thing. So what I did was ended up with a bill of about $400. I reached out through social media, and within half an hour, Apple actually refunded my money.
Oh wow, that's very nice.
And so they were watching and they were literally monitoring. So then I realized that customer service was actually going to become a big element of social media.
It can be, and you've got customers, or you've got companies that don't follow or track or trend, and you've got others that do, and the ones that do can give you a wonderful customer experience by doing so.
Yeah. So I'm sure you're going to be on stage very soon. So let's move this forward because I'm having too much fun with you. So give us some keys to success. I mean, what should some of our viewers and friends on Facebook be doing to get successful with it? What are the keys?
Well, the first thing to be successful, you've got to participate, right? So one of the fun things about social media, and one of the frustrating things about social media, is that it's constantly changing, right? New things are coming out all the time. A few years ago it was Meerkat with live streaming. They've gone away. Then it was Periscope, and now it's Facebook Live, right? Before that, it had been Google Hangouts, and we were me and a friend of mine kicked that off at South by Southwest.
Yep.
And we didn't know what it was. We were playing with it. And then fast forward a year and a half, we've got almost 1 million person following for the program we put together on Google+. So that's part of the fun is playing, but you've got to join the conversation to figure it out, right? And then as you start to play with it, you want to share good things. So if I read an article that's related to my product, my service, I should share it because it gives credit to someone else who wrote it. Maybe don't have time to write all the time. You also want to think that content's not always a blog, right? Everybody thinks, I've got to write. I don't have time to write. I hated writing in school.
Yep.
No, everybody's attention span is so short today. Images, share quick stories, give a sound bite. That is good content to share. And then as you get more comfortable with it, you can develop your own followings. You can follow people. You can start to engage. You can ask people for reviews. If you were a customer of mine and I was Joe's plumber and I said, hey, you know what? If you liked our service, please, go to Google business pages, go to Yelp, write a quick review, say thank you, so that other people can know that we provide
great
good
advice.
service.
Yeah.
And it's not that hard. Just remember you can crawl, and before you can walk, you have to crawl. And before you can run, you've got to walk. So crawl, walk, run. Make it simple. Have fun, engage.
I think that's great. I mean, we've had fun on this segment, and I really appreciate you joining me, Knox.
Yeah.
I'd love to have you back on some of our other segments.
Anytime.
So very quickly, because I know you're going to get on
Sure.
stage. Well, how can people find you?
Oh yeah, thank you for that. So our company is Merge Forward, mergeforward.com. You can also follow me on Twitter. It's Knox Keith, @KnoxKeith, and reach out, say hello, join the conversation. We'd love to hear from you.
Fantastic. Thanks, Knox.
We're fixing to be right back after these messages.
Are you looking for more leads and ultimately sales? Want to connect with your audience better? Well, telling your company's story is a great marketing tool and brings immense benefits. So why not tell that story on your own branded segment of Linked AM and showcase your business with a professional presentation and broadcast? Your broadcast will be heard on many outlets such as LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and on our own Linked AM website. Together with our host, you or someone on your team will co-host an in-depth review of your company, including details such as your clientele, your product or services, the benefits and features of your company, and any other relevant information you want to present. This presentation will be professionally recorded and broadcast on Facebook, LinkedIn, and other social media channels to get you in front of the best audience possible. You will even receive an MP4 file for any other marketing you'd like to do on your own. So get started today by contacting us for more information and get your company name out there.
Texas business. Texas style.
Howdy, folks. Here he is, the Texas Brit, the guy with the stiff upper lip, filling his 10-gallon hat and his cowboy boots. Carl Wolfenden.
Yeah, that's me, Carl Wolfenden, and welcome back. It's actually, I suppose you could say it's linked PM because it's now, what is it, it's 25 to 1. So we're live on Facebook Live here, and thanks for joining us. And as you can see on the screen, we've got Chad Williams from Survey Local with us, and he's, of course, one of our keynote speakers at the SBDC, Colin SBDC's Social Media Carnival. So Chad, thanks for joining us, and I know you've just been on stage and you've been spreading your wisdom, but tell us more about what your company does.
Sure, so I'm the founder of Survey Local, and we're all about online reviews, helping businesses control the dialogue that their customers are creating on different social media platforms and sites, and that's what our specialty is.
So why did you start Survey Local? I mean, I can guess with the title of because I think we've talked about it on a couple of other interviews. There's 7.3 billion people in the world, and I think 3.9 billion are on social media. So, right. And so, why did you start? So,
well, for me, it was it hit close to home. So my mom, who owns a local business, was really negatively impacted by a Google review, and saw enrollment was down and was really concerned about that. And so I got sucked into that, being a part of the family, and I tried to find a way to help her get those reviews and to help combat the negative review that was out there. And out of that came this concept of what Survey Local does.
I think, yeah, I mean, one of the big things about social media, you can't get away from it, is that, people will say what they feel. Mm-hmm. And if you can then turn what their comments are into a positive and try and nip it in the bud, because people are reading those, aren't they? I mean, absolutely. More and more people are actually looking at reviews to affect their buying decision.
Yeah, you can't stick your head in the sand anymore and pretend like, those reviews won't impact my business. I don't need to pay attention to them. In 2017, your reviews are going to be seen even more so than your website, than any other part of your business.
And I would think that getting a good review links you back to your website, and correct. So therefore that increases the effectiveness of your whole strategy around that.
Correct. Yeah, our clients that really capture a good stream of reviews on multiple sites are getting a lot of benefits, not only from the social boost that they receive, but also from SEO and traffic to their website.
So what new trends are you seeing now for 2017?
The big thing in 2017 is we've seen new review sites start to get a lot of growth. And I'll tell you, one of the big ones is Facebook.
Okay.
We saw about a 25% increase in consumers using Facebook to find local businesses and specifically search for business reviews on Facebook.
Because I take it, because if you look at what the profile of Facebook is, it's friends and family, right. Etc. And I trust if my friend says, "Hey, you got to go and check out this product,"
you hope so.
Yeah, you hope so. Yeah. Then I would be more tendent to go and check that product out.
Correct.
Whereas if I see a post from the product themselves going, "Hey, well, look at how wonderful we are,"
sure.
I'm a bit cautious about that. So I think that might be a trend.
Yeah, it is, and generating that organic posts from people that are your customers is definitely important.
I speak to a lot of local businesses. We're working with a new radio station in Arlington called Biz BizTalk Arlington, and we have a show 3 till 5 called the Mark Jokel Show. And the businesses that we talk to over in Arlington, they're saying, how do I get found? How do I get, and so of course we got our radio advertising, etc. But we're blending a lot of that with social media, and so I think it's an important piece to the marketing planning session, isn't it?
It is, and the number one thing business owners need to do is to ask to engage their customers on social media, because for every one business person or employee or founder, there are hundreds of customers that can be a great marketing force that's ready to go to town for you, and they're ready to go tell you other people how great you are if you can make it easy for them, if you can ask.
So you're enabling.
We're an enabler.
You're an enabler.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's
it.
So how do you see marketing changing for local businesses? I mean, is that's part of it? I'm sure.
Sure, it is. Even radio, people are streaming a lot more now. People hate commercials.
They do, but
and so, but businesses, that's how they typically have been reaching customers. So,
well, I think what we're doing, and with the Mark Jokel Show on BizTalk Arlington, we're actually doing it on FaceTime Live as well. So we're streaming it at the same time, and so we're connecting. And what we like to say is we start the conversation on air, and then we take it onto the screen for more detail. And so what you do is you use that tactic to do that. We used to say in radio in the old days that interviews and sponsorship loads the gun, and advertising fires it, and what that means is that we can set the scene, and then the advertising says, and here's the offers a day, sort of thing. So, and I am a voiceover as well, and any work is kindly accepted. But so how do local businesses decide on a marketing channel? I mean,
great question.
We've talked at different things, but how do they decide on that?
The business really needs to look at where are people looking for services like me. And you mentioned Facebook, which is not a typical site that you think of, I need to go find a plumber, I better go check Facebook. But it's becoming that sort of social environment where people want to get referrals, and more importantly, you need to make sure that when your brand is being talked about, that you have a representative in that conversation, that you are putting your best foot forward. And what we found is, as far as picking where to focus your energy and your marketing dollars, so let's say that you use a plumber and he does a pretty good job, you're happy with it, you're not going to go and write a review on your own, but a day after you get a text message from him saying, love any feedback, just really curious, would you recommend me, yes or no? And if you have a very easy way that doesn't take a lot of time to give a thumbs up, thumbs down, people will do it. Our response rate with text messaging is over 70%.
70? I suppose it's because it's so simple then.
Right. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Would you recommend us? Yes or no? It's one question. But that feedback is huge. And if you can find out who your happy customers are, we then further engage them and go ahead and post something for us on Facebook, or just share your recommendation on Google or Yelp or wherever they're actively already engaged. It's a gold mine.
So that's it. This is interesting now, because I think one of the things that I want to ask the question on. So I think a small business sometimes can be overwhelmed with the amount of platforms out there. Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all these different things. So are you saying then your platform is platform agnostic?
It is.
If my audience, I like to say, go fishing where the fish are, and what I mean by that is go and find where they're hanging out.
Yes.
And so if they are in Facebook, then go and do stuff in Facebook and focus on that. If you find that they're Snapchat guys, well, how do you go and interact with those guys?
Yeah.
And of course, there's different demographics. They're younger on Snapchat than there are on.
Correct.
But so you can place your reviews wherever you want to place them.
Yeah, the real secret sauce behind Survey Local is what we call an account detection engine. So we're able to tell when that text message comes back in affirmative, yeah, I'd love to recommend you. we know where to have that customer recommend them, because we can detect accounts, activity, where they already hang out, what social groups they're a part of, and get them engaged. They're all automatically, so the business owner doesn't have to try to force them somewhere that they may not even have an account with.
Well, I think yeah, because we used to talk about wastage, in broadcast. So a local advertiser wanted to, go and target only a 10-mile, 15, 20-mile radius as such, but our network went, across, hundreds and hundreds of miles, but you were still paying the same amount of money. So it's the same thing where you're saying, okay, well, let's really rifle in and focus on where your customers are.
Correct.
And then once you get to know those people, they then become advocates of your brand as you go along.
Right, and the reason that it works is because we're lazy, and if
we're not lazy, are we? Oh, maybe
some of us are, more than others.
Yes, I'm lazy.
And so none of us are going to go and create new accounts to go promote a business that we like. But that's the extent of it. But if it's easy and convenient and it helps Joe the plumber and he did a good job, why not? And that is what we've found time and time again, is customers are becoming one of the best sources of marketing on a local level if you can make it easy for them.
Absolutely. And I've heard this word hyper-local, where you literally you really want to sort of just get within your own community. And you can really, if you do this properly, you could really capture that the market share within a community if you understand. So how do people find you? I mean, and how do they connect with you?
So our software can be found, more about it, on surveylocal.com.
Okay.
And my email address, chadw@surveylocal.com. I'm the founder, so happy to offer any insights, field any questions. We're very much focused on helping local business owners succeed.
Fantastic. Well, I love the family, how it all started with your mum.
It did.
and I love that, because that's the nature of business. I mean, if you got a passion about something, and there's nothing better than helping your mum.
Correct.
And now you built it into a business, so that's fantastic. So I'll put all the details on the website as well, and I really appreciate you joining me. And I know that you've got some other sessions that you're going to be doing, so go back and educate the audience out there. So thanks a lot, Chad. Thanks a lot.